Hello, everybody. All right. How is everyone tonight? Is my audio coming in okay? Happy Wednesday, everybody. Man, there's a lot more of you in here than there were last time. Man, I gotta learn a whole boatload of names. Like, I know you on Facebook, but I don't know you on yet. But I'll figure it. Roberto, I know you. You have the same name. If you see this pretty young lady in the chat named Jfro, that would be my very dear friend and my roommate, who's going to be my first moderator ever tonight. Make sure you treat her kindly, please. But I know you guys are going to have a sip of coffee because I'm still waking up, man. I had to get away from you guys. I had to, ever since Jeff and Mara uploaded that podcast Sunday night, I've pretty much been up minus like 5 hours of sleep here, 2 hours of sleep here, and literally I've been talking and meeting and trying to help a lot of you guys all around the world. It's just been surreal. It's been pretty amazing. Finally feel like I'm home for once on planet Earth. You guys have brought some amazing energy to my realm. You can barely see me? I can fix that. How about we light some candles? I don't want to be a ghost. I got, Jfro got me some of these really cool candles that are scented. Do any of you all make candles out there? If so, send some samples my way, because I'm going to need a lot. Because we have a lot to learn going forward. You know how a lot of YouTubers, they have like a coffee, sort of like a coffee fund. Maybe I can have like a candle fund. Maybe you guys, whoever knows some candle maker, make sure I always have candles for or something. I don't know. Okay, all good now. All right. Last time, our stream was 3 hours last time. I don't anticipate our stream being that long this time, unless you guys really want to hang out with me that long, which is pretty cool. Oh, first question before we get started with the astral projection is, how did you all like my epiphany? The ones that I haven't talked to yet, about all of us around the world putting earbuds in our ears at the same time and listening to the same binaural beat. Oh yeah, we're lighting up now, getting back into our Game of Thrones mode. If you're wondering why I'm always wearing a bathrobe around the house and stuff, I actually don't wear it around the house unless I'm cold, but I'm kind of chilly tonight. And what you may not see is I have a little hoodie on it. So when I want to, I can look like a monk. Okay, so let's see. How many people do we have in the chat? It looks like there's... Bear with me, guys. I'm all new to this stuff. I'm not like, I'm just learning the ropes. I'm like a baby. Looks cozy. All right. Katie Cat, I like that. Baby YouTuber. Game of Scrolls. Yes. AJ, you get a gold star. I love it. A Game of Scrolls. Oh my God. We got to make a t-shirt like for my first merchandise. We're going to call it Game of Scrolls. Oh man. Why did I think of that? No, I'm happy. I'm so glad you are with me, all of you guys. You have no idea. I feel like I've been in this huge family reunion all week, you know, and that says a lot because I feel like you guys are more my family than my own family. I can just feel all your souls. I don't even have to think about anything, like I was telling you last night, how to put love in your heart chakra. I don't even have to do that with you all. You all just send me all this love over the wire, so to speak. Binaural beats. There's all different kinds of frequencies you can choose. I mean, really, and matter of fact, here on YouTube, there's tons and tons, but actually, I think most of them are kind of crap, but that's my own opinion. I used to make my own binaural beats, and I would like us to make our own custom binaural beats, too. If anybody's like, if any of you in the chat right now or listening in the future podcast, maybe we might, I know we have one sound engineer that I've been talking to that lives in Missouri. Maybe he or some other person or people can get together and if they have like a nice studio, they can do some really cool stuff for us. But yeah, I mean, you can since we found out on our last stream that our human ears can hear from 20 hertz or 20 cycles. We can hear 20 cycles up to 20,000 cycles or 20 kilohertz. So let's say the Earth is 7.3 hertz, I think it is, or 7.6 hertz, 0.3. It's a very low frequency. Our ears can't hear 7.3. So if you multiply that, if you double that, that's 14.6. And we still can't hear that. So you'd have to go up one more. So the minimum frequency of the Earth that you can hear would be 29.1 hertz. That's the lowest our ears can pick up. So that's really a low bass. That would probably be a pretty good frequency to try to project. But your earbuds you're using will have to have very low threshold for you to pick up that low frequency. Alvin, been doing it for years. Alvin, yes, Alvin, you're the one I was talking about from Missouri. Everybody meet Alvin. He's a really great guy. I've been talking to him off and on the last few days, and he and I have discussed making music and stuff in the future, and we're going to collaborate together at some point, and I'll let him share what his vision is. I still don't know his vision, his full vision, but I can feel his vision in my heart. That's how I know he's a good guy. Solfeggio, yes, the solfeggio. Yeah, I plan on doing a few podcasts just about frequencies, not just a couple. Frequencies are probably the most important thing for us to know as we go forward, in addition to the ancient languages and stuff. Frequencies are going to become very, very important for us to know, because I want to figure out gravity. I really do. And I think if we get all of our minds together and all of our sacred energy and together, we're going to create some kind of magic on this planet. You know, just think, the pyramids generate so much energy that they alter, somehow they have or are altering our planet in some way that we don't understand yet. I don't know how many of you know about Adam's calendar down in South Africa. There's this project called the Ubuntu Project. Tellinger, he's the head of that movement, I think. I think I got his name right, Michael Tellinger. He, there's this ancient calendar there, they call it Adam's calendar, and the signals that these stones are creating, the way they're situated, kind of like Stonehenge, you bring any kind of GPS or any kind of instrument in there, and the whole thing goes haywire, just like kind of in the Bermuda Triangle and other places where there's large vortex. So those stones actually create some kind of vortex of energy. And I think the pyramids are doing the exact same thing on a much greater scale. Did everybody like my table of contents I added for the last video? Jfro said there was a few that were complaining that they kind of lost interest because the stream was so long, so I created this table of contents so you could find all the major points easy and fast. So I'm going to do that in the future. Also, I didn't realize it. There's this little button inside of YouTube Studio. It says, it's a little checkbox, and it says DVR. And I unchecked it the last time I ran a screen. But what that DVR does is it saves your live stream as a video. And so now I know that I need to keep that checkbox so that after the stream, you'll have a live feed history under the live feeds, and I'll have a video on the other side. The other option we have as content creators is you can download the stream and then make changes and upload it as a video as well. What I want to do is, time permitting, of course, after these streams end, I want to cut out all the parts we don't need, and then re-upload the video with just the content that's important. And we'll always have a copy of the whole stream, with the comments and everything. But we'll also have a video copy with just the content. So that's my vision for the future. I think we can get started now. We have 77 people here, I think, now, which is a good little crowd. So on our last stream, first thing I'm going to go over tonight is we're going to review what we learned last time, and we're going to start by reviewing all the ingredients you need to know to come out of your body. So the first thing on the list would be your relaxation. You want to lay on your back. That's my recommendation. You don't have to, but if you want to make sure all your muscles are free from any kind of tension, or because if you sleep on your side, your arm gets under you or something, and that tension that when you're laying on your arm or you're putting pressure on one of your muscle groups, that can cause you not to come out of your body. So I recommend just laying on your back and just let go. And I always start from my toes and work your way up, but you don't really have to do that. And if you do listen to a guided meditation for astral projection, that's exactly what they're going to tell you to do. They're going to tell you to just take in a deep breath and let it out couple times, and then focus on each part of your body until it's relaxed. That's really all you have to do, is just don't move. Just lay there. Okay, so while you're relaxing your muscles, once you feel like really comfortable and your muscles either are relaxed or they're in the process of relaxing, that's when you start doing other things. And you'll learn with a couple couple nights of practice, you'll learn to start all these things at the same time. So while you're relaxing all your muscles and just you want to start clearing your mind, I can't wait to hear some feedback on anybody that's going to focus on their throat. It's a new technique I learned like last week. Focus on your throat and see if that clears your mind. I've never tried it yet, but I want to try it tonight. I'm going to try it tonight, and I will report back on how I think about it. The other method I mentioned for clearing your mind, and it's hard, guys. Don't feel bad if you can't clear your mind, okay? It takes a lot of practice, especially for females, apparently. I was talking to somebody that came over from the Jeff Maher podcast yesterday, I think it was, and we were laughing because I told her that a lady once told me that a woman's mind is like a web browser with 1,000 tabs always open. So if you're a female, I guess you have to it's going to take a little more effort than us guys, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so the other method I mentioned is the vault method, where you're going to imagine there's an imaginary vault right next to your head, or it can be any. I always picture it right next to my head, and with the vault door facing me. So I just stream all my thoughts, all your worries, all your anything that's in your mind. Just imagine them being sucked in like a vacuum cleaner from this vault. Like this vault is like a giant vacuum cleaner that sucks your thoughts out of your mind. And I know that sounds crazy maybe to some people, but really, when we're not in these bodies and we're just spirits in the spirit world, it's all about your thoughts. Everything. If you want to go someplace, you have to think about it. If you want to pick something up, you just think about it. Everything is done with your mind. So it's for us in these bodies, we forget that, or we don't remember that maybe. And this can be a little daunting for a lot of people that haven't tried to do any kind of imaginary games like with themselves. A good way to practice, I once had this young guy teach me a technique once where he had me pretend or imagine that I was already out of my body and I was looking at the back of my head floating in the air. Just imagine, you have to imagine it. So you just imagine what it would look like if you were floating on near your ceiling looking down at yourself, and just imagine how that would look. And that will kind of get you in the habit of, and just practice doing things with your mind like that. Towards the end of the stream, we're going to be talking about techniques how to exit your body. And I'm going to mention a few things, and all that is done with your mind. So we're going to cover that in a little bit, but I just wanted you to drive that point home, that everything is done with our mind. We talk with our mind, we do everything. Yeah, Michael, I feel you. I was like you. The first time I tried, it took me 56 very, very frustrating nights. And I felt like giving up. I really did, because I was like, this stuff doesn't work. You just got to keep at it. And believe me, it worked. I did it. I proved you can do it. And I'm not just, I wouldn't just tell you that. I actually did it, and amazing experiences I could ever imagine. Yeah, thanks for reminding me, Eve. Hopefully by tomorrow I'll have figured out a way for us to all share our dreams and our astral projection attempts, so we can all collaborate that way. I've already created a Facebook page for this channel, so I didn't get around to that today, but tomorrow that's hot on my list, because I want, or maybe you all can give me some ideas of how you think, what form would be the best to talk about. Would it be Facebook? Like, maybe you could all send me a message, like on Facebook, giving your ideas. Oh my goodness, Bonnie, that is a very, very loaded question that I'm not going to answer right now. Maybe at the end of the stream, after we covered all the content, we can go over some of the cool things that I've seen and experienced in my AP experience. Yeah, don't use Facebook. Okay, Lulu Bubble. I love that name. A Facebook group. Okay, Facebook. Yeah. Lulu, what say you about a Facebook group? All right, so while you're clearing your mind, okay, you're going to want to start focusing where your third eye is. And I told you last night, you can take a candle and you can stare at the, there's like a aura, like a very blue aura around the candle if you look very closely. And in between that blue and the actual fire of the candle, there's an empty space. That's where you want to put your focus on, is that empty space. Just stare at it for a while. You can put on some nice music, or maybe have your earbuds in listening to some isochronic tones or something soothing. Sit there and look at the candle, and after 5 or 10 minutes, just turn off your light and lay down on your back. I found propping up my head a little bit is good, because if you're totally flat, then I don't know, to me that's not really comfortable. I always prop my head up a little bit. If you're somebody who can fall asleep sitting up or standing up, a lot of people say I have that ability. I can just fall asleep on command. I don't, when I'm really, really tired, I don't even know when I fall asleep. Oh, that's another thing we didn't really touch on last night a lot, while we're going over this. But I did mention in the last stream, I think, that when your body goes to sleep at night, when you fall asleep, your spirit is still awake. Very much so awake. But because of the melatonin putting all your muscles to sleep, you don't realize that your soul is awake. But it's doing things. It's doing things, and it's in a lot of places. And when you're really tired, it's hard to keep that concentration going. What a lot of people recommend, and what I've tried, and it works great for me too, is set your alarm for like 4 hours into your sleep. Wake up, maybe chill for a while, pet your cat or your dog, or feed your fish. Something, just for kind of like a half an hour to an hour maybe, and then go back to sleep. And that is when you want to start your astral projection attempt, not when you first fall asleep. Because nine times out of 10, when you try to do this when you're really tired, you're going to fall asleep at some point. It's really hard. It takes practice. Believe me, it takes practice. While we're at it, we're going to review that. Okay, you're relaxing all the muscles in your body. You clear your mind. That takes a while. And I gave you an example of a technique I developed for myself that works really good. Is just imagine seeing all the years. Like if you're looking at a list of years vertically, just imagine tilting that to make it horizontal. Kind of like one of those timelines where it shows, like, here's the period of the dinosaurs and here's the period of this and that. Just imagine that timeline, and with your mind just sweep down that timeline, and with it you're going to take all your memories with it, everything. You're going to sweep it clean, so there's no writing on that timeline at all. And it works. It's a pretty cool technique, I have to admit. Okay, no Facebook. No, I don't want to use Facebook. You guys are awesome. The Jose Silva method. Elizabeth, you'll have to write in the chat and tell us how the Jose Silva works. The Jose Silva method works. I've never heard of that before. Yes, Lulu, I'm getting ready to get into the vibrational state, because that's something we didn't cover last time. Okay, so you're relaxing your muscles in your body, you're clearing your mind, and then the next thing you want to do is you want to set your intention. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go when and if you come out of your body? You want to set an intention to do that. And also, I like to focus on my third eye when I do that. Those of you, if this is your first stream ever, that you haven't seen any of the other content that I've published so far, which is not very much, in your forehead, if you close your eyes and you look right here, right above the bridge of your nose, and the candle technique I was just showing you a minute ago is the reason for that. That will show you where your third eye is. So when you close, after you look at a candle for like 5 or 10 minutes, at that little space between the blue and the yellow, that'll get really big. So when you turn off the light and close your eyes and lay down, that flame might move a little bit here and there, but when it comes to the rest, the middle of that candle is where your third eye is. So you want to concentrate on that third eye. And what I see, I don't know, what I see is a stream of dots. I call them stars, for a better word. It's a data stream constantly going. It's like kind of like connects you to the universal internet, or called the intergalactic net. I guess you could say. We're always connected in that way, and that's how we're connected. We're connected through that data stream. That's how we're all connected. A few people have asked me if I can give some examples on how we're all connected, and that's a big one. We're all connected because we're all plugged in, like we're kind of all like routers that are plugged in to this matrix, and all the electricity, the potential of that electricity is flowing through all of us at the same time. That's how we're connected, just on a basic level. Be the spoon. I like him. So once you're concentrating on those stars, as you get more relaxed, you're going to start going into what's called a hypnagogic. Jfro, how do you spell that? Hypnagogic. Is it gognic or gogic? I can't remember. But you're going to go into this trance. And basically, astral projection is hypnotizing. You're hypnotizing yourself. That's all you're doing. So I think I mentioned in the last stream The difference between meditating and astral projecting is in meditation, you don't go as deep. You don't actually go put your body to sleep. Your body's still awake. But in astral projection, your body actually goes to sleep. The melatonin gets greeted into your muscles, and really, from a design standpoint, that's to prohibit you from sleepwalking. So a logical deduction, I'm not like an official scientist or doctor, always take what I say with a grain of salt, but my logical deduction is people who sleepwalk have a lack of melatonin in their diet, or something is preventing the right amount of melatonin from going into their muscles or from being excreted. So for those people, maybe a supplement would help. If you know somebody that sleepwalks, tell them to take melatonin or something that inhibits melatonin. Okay, so when you're focusing on those little stars, and for me, they're all, if you look really close, you're going to see this little tiny hole, this little tiny dot where all those little dots are coming out of, but they're kind of being scattered everywhere in different patterns. But if you can imagine, remember I told you our thoughts are powerful, so if you imagine yourself going cross-eyed, but don't use your muscles in this body to do it, use your mind. Just picture your eyes, just cross your eyes virtually, I guess. Cross your eyes virtually while you're staring at those dots, and you'll have a TV screen that you're going to actually see things going on in a square, and I can't wait to hear what you will see there. I've seen some amazing things that I can't even explain going on, and you can do this at any time during the day. You don't have to be practicing astral projection. You could be sitting at your job, and eventually you can get to the point where you don't even have to close your eyes. You can see this. You can see these stars. The more you practice this, the more you're going to activate this organ in your body. I was talking to a few people the last few days about this. By accident, and I don't normally drink milk like by the glassful. If I drink milk at all, it's like with a bowl of cereal. That's the extent of my milk intake. But this one night, I just felt like milk. I don't know why. And it just happened. It was an accident. I realized that something in the milk, whether it be calcium or whatever, something in milk amplifies your third eye, which to me is kind of like an oxymoron, because I've seen so many people say, or I've seen so many videos and blog entries telling you how to decalcify your pineal gland. Well, in my case, calcium made it work better. So I'm not sure. The jury's still out on that one for me. So yeah, just take all these articles and videos about astral projection with a grain of salt. I'm going to tell you exactly what you need to do, and you can make your own custom tweak. But what I'm telling you is exactly it works. You don't have to go to any other video unless you just want to get a good round sampling. But they're going to tell you the same thing I'm telling you for the most part. Okay, what's going to happen as you get more into trance and start to get deeper into this trance? Those stars, that data stream is actually, they're going to change color. They're going to go from white and black, because it kind of looks like outer space. And actually, as your heart pumps, you're going to see pulses. Every time your heart beats, you're going to see a little pulse of light. See that? And that kind of lets you know where your center of your third eye, your focal point is. And it looks pretty cool. It kind of looks like when a squid is swimming through the water. It's like boo boo, like that. It kind of like, see that? You look close, and where that pulse coming from is actually your pineal gland is making that. But anyway, yeah, you're going to see different colors. At first, like some oranges and some yellows. In my case, when I'm getting ready to separate, even before the vibrational state starts, those colors change to cooler colors like blue and purple. That's how you know you're getting really close. When those colors in your third eye start changing to blue and purple, you know you're on the right. Also, something I didn't mention the last stream. I don't know about any of you guys, but I'm very warm-blooded. Like I'm like a human walking hot water bottle. When I first started trying to practice astral projection after my near-death experience, I figured out right before, I know we haven't hit the vibrational state, right before the vibrational state. So right before the vibrational state started, I used to start getting really hot. So I'm not sure if you all will get really hot when you get really close or not, but I got really hot. So hot that in the dead of winter, I had to have a fan on me, either a ceiling fan on. But when I started, sometimes I was cold, but by the time you get ready to come out of your body, I used to get so hot, I started sweating. And guess what? When you start sweating, those little beads start running down your forehead. And you know how that feels. It can be very annoying if you're very still. And guess what? That will distract you to no end, unless you can block that out of your mind somehow. But you know, just like when a fly lands on you, it's very annoying, or mosquitoes in your ear. Those little beads of sweat can be lights out for your astral projection technique. So what I learned I must do every time I try this is I always have to have like some kind of fan or something to keep my body temperature down. So when it comes time and my body starts to heat up, I don't overheat and form these little beads of sweat on my forehead. That's one thing I forgot to mention last night. Make sure you remember that if you're a hot-blooded person like me. I get really hot when I project, really hot. I mean, unusually hot, like you have a fever or something, but you don't feel like you have a fever. You heat up really, really hot. Yes, Lulu, feeling heavy. Once you start feeling heavy, like you're sinking into your bed, that's another sign that you're about to have a experience too. Okay, so you're relaxing your body, clearing your mind. You set your intention. Okay, so while you look at the bead of stars or whatever you want to call it, the data stream, you're going to want to set an intention. Your intention is what you have to believe that intention is going to work. You have to believe you're going to come out of your body. You say to yourself, I will astral project tonight, or I will astral project in a few moments, and I will go to the moon, or I will go to my sister's house, or wherever you want to go. That is what you set your intention to, and that's all that should be in your mind. That intention and everything the best way I can explain it is put everything in you into that focused beam. Just imagine, you know, kind of like in the movies when you have those animations where something's getting ready to go nuclear and the whole thing goes squeezing in and then boom, out. That's what you want to do with your body and your imagination. You want to make sure, just imagine your body's getting hot and it's getting hotter and the light is getting wider and wider and wider. And you're going to picture that light coming up from your feet out of the ground and then pushing all that up and then out this way. And if you want to speed it up, even more, picture yourself doing some kind of action in your picture yourself running or swimming or kayak, whatever, and kayak against the grain, so to speak, because those stars are coming out at you, but you want to go out. So focus all your energy, just pierce the middle of that stream with all you have, all of you, just out, push it out. Keep doing that. Keep imagining yourself running, and eventually that stream is going to open up, just like staring at a candle. The more you stare at that little space around the candle, the bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger it's going to be. You know, like you don't really need a 60-inch TV screen. If you stare at a screen long enough, if you sit close enough to a screen, that screen becomes actually too big. It becomes like, you know, you might as well just have a little 19-inch screen. And really, you know, that's why I kind of laugh as these TV screens get bigger. It's kind of a joke to me, but we really don't need. You can actually take your cell phone and that if you focus on your screen on your phone long enough, it will seem like it's a 60-inch screen. Okay, so you're gonna put all your energy going against the grain, okay, and focus on your attention. I will astral project tonight. Pay attention to your breath. Get into like a rhythm. Focus all your energies, all of you. Just like, did any of you guys ever see that TV series Heroes? There was a little Japanese character in that. God, what was that guy's name? But anyway, he used to squint his eyes till he was putting all of his effort into trying to stop time. Hito, that was his name, Hito. He used to do that. So yeah, just squeeze everything you have into that stream. Just keep doing that. And if you kind of get, take a break every once in a while, just don't move a muscle. Just, stop and just, kind of relax. And then every once in a while, just do it again. Just get all of you. Focus on your intention. Focus on your third eye going straight up. Okay, so when you do this, you're also, once you set your intention, then you want to start your mantras or just repeating something over and over in your head, like banana, 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 banana. What I say personally when this is happening in my head, I go, mind awake, body asleep. Mind awake, body asleep. Mind awake, body asleep. You don't say it out loud, you just say it in your head over and over. It's kind of like counting sheep. What happens is when your mind realizes that you're not going to use your brain for anything worth mentioning, I guess is a good way to say it, it starts shutting your body down because it's conserving energy, because it figures out, hey, this person has lost it. They're just, they don't need their mind right now because it's in an endless loop. And that's exactly why your Indians chant, they're pounding on their drums in a certain rhythm. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, yay, yay, yay. The same thing. You don't even have to say anything. You can just think about a beat like that. That's where the binaural beats come into play, and the isochronic tones. That is your beat. That is what that actually speeds the process up. Connects it with binaural beats. Your takes one different frequency in each ear and creates a third frequency. Like I said on the last stream, once the two sides of your brain are connected, it creates one single wave, and you'll feel that you'll hear it. It'll be like whoop, 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 whoop. You'll actually hear this. It's so cool. You're like, you're gonna think it's actually on the YouTube video or on the sound, but it's not. You can it's actually two different frequencies, and your mind is consolidating those frequencies into one final frequency. This is why I want to have everybody around the world, as many people as we can get, play the same binaural beat at the same time and see what happens. I think I can't wait till we have enough people to do that. So you guys have to help me reach out and get as many people involved in this until we have enough people to really do this. And in the meantime, we can do it. Maybe just our little group in the world can do it. I think if millions of us would do that at the same time, just think, we're all putting out the same frequency from our third eye into this vast network of magnetic and gravity field. And man, I don't know what can happen. I've never heard anyone doing that. So I think it'll be a cool experiment to do. That's a good point, Alvin. Of course, you still want your earbuds. But yeah, we can, all right, Alvin, you can do that from your studio. You can broadcast the universal binaural beat from your studio. That'll be awesome. Yeah, everybody has to have headphones. The reason you can't listen to a binaural beat with your stereo is because by the time the two different frequencies from your speakers reach your ears, it's all scattered. Too scattered, your mind can't, just a minute. There's all other kinds of stuff going on that's invisible to you. We have microwaves, we have gamma rays, we have all these things that are bouncing off each other all around us. All these electrons that are vibrating and bouncing into each other. And that, in the Doppler radar world, we call that ground scatter. But yeah, by the time it gets to your ears, it's too scattered. That's why you have to wear headphones or earbuds to make sure you keep the scatter to a minimum. Yeah, any kind of earbud or headphones. If you're going to be playing lower frequencies, like really deep bass frequencies, you're going to want a fairly nice pair of earbuds. The ones we have here at our place are the Sony Extra Bass. I've always liked the quality of Sony. It's kind of a mid. It's not top of the line, but it's not bottom of the line. But it's really good for the money. And also, it also helps if you have some kind of noise canceling that goes with it. You're going to pay a little bit of extra money for the noise canceling part, but it's worth it because that will actually block out everything and only allow you to hear your binaural beats. Like if the dog's barking or cats meowing, you might hear that through your headphones. That might distract you. So yeah, everyone get earbuds. Your new homework assignment okay, so you're saying something over and over in your head. You're focusing on your intention on your third eye in the data stream. Putting all your love. Just think of it as love. Oh, that love. You got to think about something really special that's happened in your life or that's happening in your life. Like me, I feel so much love right now. I feel like I'm going to explode any second. That's how you guys have made an impact in my life. And then just focus all that love and just push it out like a weapon, like a laser beam through your third eye. While you're doing that, your muscles should be relaxed by now. You're saying something over and over in your head. You're doing all this at once. What's eventually going to happen, if you're patient enough, is your body's going to start to shut down all the muscle groups, including your brain, okay? That's why you fall asleep, is this melatonin gets injected everywhere in your body, and that automatically makes you go unconscious and fall asleep. What you're doing is you're prohibiting that from happening. You're sort of, think of it like you're short-circuiting your brain. You're not allowing, you're closing off the circuits that normally the melatonin would put those muscles asleep. You're actually prohibiting that melatonin from coming into your little capillaries or whatever. And I don't know the scientific process of that. I just kind of know because I mean, what else could it be? So yeah, that's how you keep your mind awake. You focus on your intention and focus on your intention. You don't let yourself go to sleep. If you feel yourself going to sleep, just, catch yourself, keep focused on your third eye. There's going to be a little here, so this must be the problem area maybe, or the melatonin process. It's going to be a little tug of war, and it takes a little while, but if you hang in there, then what's going to happen is the wave I call it the wave. You're going to feel that melatonin coming through your body. And for me, it starts in my toes and comes up. I don't know how many of you have ever had a CAT scan before with contrast. I've had a million of them because I had all those surgeries and all that crap. What they do when it's contrast, they inject this warm liquid that lights up under a certain condition, under an X-ray or MRI. That way the doctors can see it flowing through your veins real time. They can watch it throughout your whole body, and think about all the applications for that. Like if you had a broken bone, the doctors can say, oh, well, that dye is stopping right here, so this must be the problem area maybe. Or in my case, my intestines were closed off. But they inject that into you. You feel it. For me, my ears starts getting real hot, and my feet starts from my feet, and everything sort of feels real warm in my body. And that's exactly how this is going to feel, okay? And when that happens, sometimes at the same time that's happening, your body will start vibrating. It actually vibrates. It's going to feel weird to you. You're going to think like there's a little tremor going on around you, like an earthquake or something. But yeah, you'll feel it in your ears, in your inner ears. It'll start vibrating like really fast. That's how you know you're ready. Okay, but where people mess up is right at this point. When it gets to your chest, people think somebody, like an invisible person, is actually sitting on their chest, and it's just your mind playing tricks on you. You just gotta let it go. You've heard some people on Jeff's podcast that say they just surrendered. That's exactly what you have to do at this very moment. You have to surrender to this. Not easy. You just have to surrender to the melatonin. And it's going to be a panicky feeling, just like if you're taking on water and you can't breathe. It's going to be the same panicky feeling. But you just got to let it ride. Because if you can just let it ride for a few seconds, it'll pass. And you'll start to feel real heavy after that. And the vibration will kind of go more down to a little tremor. And then at that point, this is when you start hearing things. You're going to swear somebody's knocking on your front door or your bedroom door. That's probably the most common thing people hear at this point. They're going to hear a knock on the door. And you're going to want to get up to go answer the door, thinking it's the police or something, because it's going to be in the middle of the night. Do not get up and go to the door, because you won't find anybody there. Trust me, I've been there and done that several times, and until, I didn't know anything about this after my near-death experience. I had to learn all this the hard way. That's why some of you guys have never even heard of this or never tried this. You guys are fortunate because you have somebody experienced telling you this. But I had to learn it all the hard way. I had no idea that I was supposed to hear knocking on the doors. And then a lot of people hear bells ringing. That's the second, probably, out of all the people I've talked to or read about their attempt. A bell ringing is very common. For me, I hear a shotgun blast. Most of the time. And it sounds like somebody actually fires a shotgun, a double-barrel shotgun, about 6 inches from my right ear. I don't know why it's never over here on the left. It's always the right. I don't know. That's a question I put a pin in, because I definitely want to know why it only happens on one side of my body. I hear this loud gunshot, and it's the same loudness as you would hear like if a squirrel steps on a transformer and it blows, or the wind blows a branch over the power lines and the transformer explodes. That's exactly the level of decibel you're going to hear. But you must remember, all the sounds at this point, you are pretty much either coming out or you're in the process of releasing from your body. So everything you hear is internal, and it's magnified like 1,000 times. So like this might freak you out a little bit if you're not expecting it. And right when I hear that pow, I mean, it's like a pow. Sorry if I tried to be far enough away. Sorry if I scared you. But if I did, that's exactly what's going to happen to you when this happens. You're going to be freaked out. After that gunshot, I get that power, that lightning bolt that goes from my forehead down my spine, and to me it sounds like kind of like if any of you ever had an MRI, you know, it makes those little, kind of sounds like a really loud. Remember those old floppy disk drives? To all the people my age, those real big floppy disk, and how it used to how it used to read the drives like. That's exactly the sound I hear right when that bolt goes down my spine. And then your chakras will release you, your spirit. I call them spirit locks, just because of that. And you're gonna, what I hear, you may hear a different kind of sound, but what I hear, it sounds just like the brakes on a city bus or a big rig. It's like, psh, it sound really loud. I mean, it's gonna sound like there's a city bus right next to you, your bed, putting on those brakes or clearing the brakes. It's gonna be. It's really loud. But you'll get to feel, you'll hear and you'll feel it. You actually feel it. It's kind of like think of a button-up shirt. That's exactly how it happens. Just imagine tearing your shirt open and all the buttons popping off. That's exactly how it feels and sounds when your chakra is released. Right when the last sound happens, that's when you're gonna, it's like a superconductor magnet. You know those you see that kind where you put liquid. Is that liquid nitrogen? You pour that on that little puck-looking like thing, and it hovers above the track, and you can push it, and it spins around the track in midair. That's exactly what's going to happen with your body. It's going to go poof, and then just kind of bounce up and down until it stabilizes. And there you are, as wide awake as I'm talking to you right now. You're going to be like, holy cow. And at this point, nothing is happening. You can see everything in your room that you're in, and it's lit up, by the way. You could be in complete darkness, but once you come out of your body, everything is lit up like a Christmas. At least in my case it is. Yes, lift off. Okay, so technically you're out of your body, but you're not very far away from your body. You're just hovering above your body. At this point, several things can happen depending on how relaxed you were when you got into this. One of my second, third, or fourth times, my experiences, I actually, before I had my really big experience and the TV screen opened, the very first time I had any kind of result was after the chakra was released. I actually started sinking down I went through the bed. Can you imagine? I went through my bed, and I kind of stopped where the floor was because I thought about it. I thought about the floor. And when I thought about the floor, I stopped. But if I didn't think about the floor, I might have gone through could have kept going down through the concrete foundation or whatever. You can do that. You can actually go through walls. It's the freakiest feeling. But another time when I was first trying, I couldn't. Still to this day, can't really control where I go. But I need to work on that. We're all going to help each other work on these little things. We can't. Very common thing is for you to float up, like I did after in my near-death, my first NDE. I floated above the operating table after I shot out the top of my head, and I went back, sailed back, and then I went back and then up. And I kind of flipped over with my mind. That's how you do flip, whatever. You just think you want to flip around 180 degrees. You just think about it. And in the beginning, if you don't know this, you'll just float up, keep floating up. In my case, I hit the ceiling fan. I hit the ceiling fan, and it flung me across my bedroom. And I went out the wall leading to the garage, and I went through the garage and out the garage door. So yeah, you may have that may be your experience the first few times you try. You're gonna love that one. That's a fun one. A few times I was just flung out of my body, and I ended up in the corner of my bedroom looking across the bedroom at myself sleeping. And back then, I didn't know I had sleep apnea. Even when I was really skinny, I had really bad sleep apnea. I didn't know it though. It's just, I think it's a genetic thing I inherited from my grandfathers and my father. Yeah, when you're looking down from the ceiling at yourself snoring on the bed, it's the weirdest feeling in the world. So, okay, but not every time you're going to float anywhere. In my experience, most of the time, once you start practicing this and getting better at it, you're just going to come out and hover above your body. Okay, your chakras, or spirit locks, whatever you want to call these things, they're, to me, not knowing exactly where they are and how they operate, because I don't think textbooks are ever going to show you what these things are. But they're actually some kind of electromagnet inside, some kind of biological electromagnet of some kind. And they are, when those things, and even when it releases you, they're still working. They're like little tractor beams, and it's hard to get away from them. So in most cases, you're going to have to use a technique to get further away from your body so you can go places. And the way you do that is, I'm going to tell you a few techniques that are the most common that I've used or I've heard about. But I think everything I'm going to tell you tonight I've tried. And after I get done doing that, I'll try to think of some more ways. Okay, the most common thing you'll see if you do Google searches or whatever, you're gonna hear about what's called the rope technique. Okay, so what you're going to want to do is imagine there's a rope hanging, like a big thick rope, like you would make a noose out of and hang somebody with a big thick rope. Imagine that hanging from your ceiling right down onto you in your bed. Ooh, my mouth is getting dry. Okay, the rope technique. Just now, also before I go into the rope technique, as you start practicing astral projection more and more, your third eye is going to start to illuminate your surroundings, even in pitch black darkness. It's going, the light, your sensitivity to light is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, to the point where it'll be annoying it's so bright in your room or wherever you're trying to do this. Yeah, so your third eye is going to make it seem like everything is so bright around you, and that's going to be annoying. If you're like me, it got to be annoying. I like the dark, and so I wanted to get it darker, and it got to the point where it didn't matter how many sleep masks I put on or pillows over my head or whatever I tried to make it darker in my room, it didn't work. And you can actually, with your mind, this is freaky, you can actually move your hands and arms with your mind, and you can see your energy arms and hands. Just imagine your hand waving in front of your face, and that's exactly what you'll see in your vision. Wild. I actually see like a little aura around your tips of your fingers and and that's how you can tell. It's not very bright, but you can tell it's a hand. So this is important, because what you're going to do is you're going to imagine those imaginary hands. You're going to imagine them grabbing onto an imaginary rope, and you're going to pull yourself up like that. Takes practice, and you're going to imagine yourself being pulled up, and it's actually going to lift you out of your body when you do that. Okay? Takes practice. I've done it a couple times, but after I learned some other techniques, I stopped doing it because there's other techniques that work better for me, so I'm going to tell you next. That's the rope technique. And once you get fully out of your body, that's when you can. Okay, and for those who weren't on last night or haven't watched the last stream, wherever you want to go in the multiverse or in this plane, you can go either one. And I was telling you in Robert Monroe's book, calls it locale 1 and locale 2. This being locale 1 and the astral plane being locale 2. I think he added a look exactly what that. I'll have to go back and research that and see what locale 3 is. It may be like the higher tier of the astral realm. Yes. Okay. Yes. We never covered the silver cord. Elizabeth, were you the one that asked me that last night? I'm sorry if it was. I get sidetracked easy. I get off on tangents, so I'm sorry about that. So yeah, some people believe there's this silver cord that attaches us to our bodies. Personally, I've never seen this thing, but there's people that swear we have this silver cord, think of it like an energy ribbon, connecting your spirit body to your physical body. And I've never seen this, so I can't confirm or deny if that's true. I guess it depends on you. Maybe if you think there is one, you'll see one. It makes sense because our minds are very powerful. Okay, so now you know about the rope technique. The next technique I'm going to tell you is my favorite technique. Okay, the next technique I use mainly nowadays, or the last time I used it was a long, long time ago. I'm going to start using it again now. Is the rollout technique, they call it. So instead of imagining yourself pulling yourself up an imaginary rope, you're just going to imagine yourself rolling out of bed like a log scope. And it's funny. It's funny when you do it for the first time. I can't wait to hear all your experiences coming out of this. I want to see who does it first. It's gonna be like this can be like a game. We can make it a challenge. Like, first person that does it, we all got to buy him maybe an ice cream, some kind of sundae or something. I don't know. Or maybe a free ticket to a spa somewhere to get a nice massage or whatever. But when it happens, whoever the one of you it happens to the first, it's going to change your life forever. It's going to change your life in a profound way. And then, if you've never had a near-death experience or anything, which is basically what you're creating when you come out of your body, you're going to know what I know. And I'm going to be so happy for you, because then you'll know the real deal. You'll know that we're immortal. And then once your fears are once you get rid of all your fears, no matter what your fears are, when you have zero fears, you are completely free to move about the cabin, you know, and it's such a feeling. It's like tons of rocks moved off your shoulders when you're free, you know. There's a lot of people that get really, they have so much stress in their life, and so much fear and anxiety. And when you get rid of all that, just that alone, not having all that anxiety and depression in your life is a life changer. You can actually think again. You can work your life in a positive way instead of a negative way. So that's the rollout technique. You have to just imagine yourself rolling out like a log, no difference. Another one that I want to try next, which I really haven't done a lot of trying with it, is the rocking technique. So just imagine your body in a hammock, okay? And just imagine yourself swinging really slow, side to side. You know, just every time it passes by, make it go a little bit higher. Keep doing that. Keep rocking back and forth and back and forth. And eventually you're going to go, whoop. Kind of like, remember when we were kids, the swing sets, you'd go really high and then jump out. That's kind of the premise on that one. Okay, the next one I'm going to tell you is called the telephone pole technique. Imagine that your body is a telephone pole or a long 2x4 or something. And in your mind, you're going to switch the telephone pole or the 2x4 180 degrees. And if you keep doing that faster and faster, it's kind of like a corkscrew type of method where you're going to, by imaginary centrifugal force, it's going to sling you away from your body. Okay, those are the main methods you'll read about if you do a Google search. I think there might be some new methods nowadays that I haven't even seen, because, you know, I haven't researched this since like 2011 and 12, somewhere in there. So there you go. That, in a nutshell, is astral projection. And once you get out, you can go anywhere you want. But when you get to when you are able to control it 100%, let me know. Teach me how you did that, because I'm not there yet. Oh, how do you get rid of your fears? Is that what you're asking? We are now officially in our question and answer session. Absolutely, AJ. Remember when I was on Jeff's podcast, I said I was gone 1,000 years, and for lack of a better phrase, I was, even though it could have been longer or shorter. That's how it seemed to me. I was gone for such a long time, literally for centuries. That's how it seemed to me. So you can go from one place to other. You can bar hop, galaxy hop, I guess you could say. But the thing is, you have to know the name of the galaxy, or you have to know what it looks like, maybe. But what's to say you go to a random galaxy? So yeah, just be prepared to go places you weren't expecting to go, because you really have to focus your intention on where you want to go. And if you don't, it's going to send you someplace random, maybe. I've had that happen to me. Okay, so I see a few of you asking how you re-enter the body. All you have to do to come back to your body is think about your body. That's it. It's that simple. You want to come back to your body, just think about your body. Your soul is in love with your body. These electromagnetics, these chakras, they're always connected to you. As long as you're living. As long as you're living, your body's living, those things are activated, and they're very sensitive. So Elizabeth was mentioning a silver cord earlier. I guess you could say it's probably more like an invisible cord, silver cord, you can think of it as. Maybe there's certain circumstances where that energy is viewable in the visible spectrum of your spirit. And you can see many colors and many more things with our spirit eyes than you can with this body eye. There's way more frequency spectrums we can see. Yeah, AJ, all you gotta do is think about your body. It's that simple. There's no rocket science involved in that. Think about your body. So the longer you want to be out of your body, don't think about your body. Okay, I'm scrolling up in the comments here to see what I missed. I know you guys have more questions. Can't be that good of a teacher. Okay, Victoria, fear and anxiety. Okay, the best advice I can give you, Victoria, to get rid of your fear You have to turn that fear around. You have to flip the script, and your anxiety, you have to figure out what is triggering that fear and anxiety. You have to really look deep within yourself and find out, why am I afraid of this? Why do I have this anxiety? And then what you want to do, just like you're putting your intention in your third eye when you're trying to project, you do that exact same thing. Just use as much love as you can, put that in your heart, and then then use that to force your fear out of you. And I know it's easier said than done. That's the best advice I can give you. Or maybe you can work on doing things that maybe you're afraid of, but they're kind of a less risk you're taking emotionally and doing them. Like maybe you're afraid of roller coasters. The best thing to do is get on a roller coaster. And whatever you're afraid of, do whatever you're afraid of. Confront it. That's the best way to get rid of it, is to confront it. So if the thought of your husband not being with you, being here anymore with you, is giving you anxiety, then you have to really confront that. And you tell yourself, I know he's not here, but he's happy, and he's still connected with you. Even though he's not physically here in this plane, he's still with you, connected to you. I guarantee it. And once you've realized that and start convincing yourself of that, your fear will disappear and your anxiety will go away. Another possibility, if you really just can't do that, if you're finding it impossible to do what I just said, try doing some hypnotherapy, like somebody that can actually assist you in doing a regression and going to some other lives that you're living, and finding out the root cause of that anxiety or fear. And once you realize that while you're under hypnosis, and if you think about it, that's exactly what you're doing when you astral project, okay? So once you've identified where this anxiety stems from, whoop, it disappears too, just like your fear. Fear is nothing more than a waste of time and energy, It's like when you worry all the time. I always tease Jayfro for worrying. She can tend to worry a lot more than I do which is not a bad thing, Maybe one of the cats are sick or something, and where I wouldn't go to take the cat to the vet right away, she would. Sometimes I don't understand that. But worrying in general is, when you think about it, it's just a waste of time and energy. Well, Victoria, not only me, but you have a whole family behind you now, and we're here to help you. We're here to help you get rid of all that fear. I want you to know that from the bottom of my heart. I've dedicated my life now to this cause, and this is all I have. This is why I came back here, So I'm going to make sure that I do everything I can to get you in that graduating class with me, okay? I promise. And anytime any of you, I don't care, anytime any of you need to talk, if you're feeling so down, either contact me or somebody else you feel strong connection to in our new family. We're all connected, not just here in this chat room. Every one of us, every single soul, we're all connected, and we're all here to help each other. Even if some people don't act like that, Some people seem like they're always grouchy and they're hard to get along with, or bipolar, whatever. Deep inside, that person is not like a lot of people put out a facade, a defensive barrier, and they act a certain way, like they act really grumpy or they act really annoyed. But deep down inside, they're not like that. And we have to remember that. And you don't have to be somebody's best friend, but just forgive them in your heart and move on. Tell that person, I forgive you, even if you don't show love to me, even though I don't enjoy being around you. I love you. Tell them that. I love you, forgive you. I wish, and that's it. It doesn't matter how they react. I know when I came back to my body after I died, the first thing I did was ask everybody to forgive me, and I forgave them. And it's the freest feeling in the world. And I got some reactions from people. I thought I would get a totally different reaction. It shocked the hell out of some. I thought people would be really upset at me coming to them and asking them to forgive me and forgiving them, And I had the opposite reaction sometimes. It's amazing. It's almost like they played a part. They played a part in getting you to understand this lesson. And once you understood the lesson, they dropped their character. Does that make sense? I believe this really happens all the time. Yeah, Lou, you're right. Her husband is always there. Yeah. Not only that, not only is he with you, you're probably living nanoseconds apart in other lives. You're just passing each other all the time. You're probably with him in another life. Oh, Victoria, great things are coming your way. And our way. Just when you wake up every morning, say that to yourself, okay? Whether you believe in God or not, I call this power the infinite one. Whatever, send an intention out and wanting to get rid of your fear and anxiety and asking, how can I make a difference in the world today? You have 60 seconds a minute to do. There's a lot you can do in 60 seconds, believe me. We love you, Victoria. You're not alone. You are loved more than you could ever imagine. You reach out, okay? When you get to that lowest point, you reach out to us, okay? I'm going to be on here every night, so I'm not going to let you forget that we're here for you. Okay, what other questions do you guys have before we see how long have we been on air for? Oh, hug. Group hug, Victoria. We're all with you. That's awesome. I would hug you if I could. So for now, we just got to give you, give you a virtual embrace. You can feel me, feel our arms around you, just holding you. It's gonna be okay. Yes, AJ, I agree. Yeah, eventually we can all travel as one group. Wouldn't that be cool? Like a big field trip. Like we could take field trips to other galaxies like Andromeda, and we can go to Sirius and say hi to Enokin, and we can go, who knows, God. We can go to the other side of the Milky Way and have some coffee together. Victoria, so proud of you for coming here, for getting the courage to tell us, just to admit that you have all this going on in your life. It takes a lot. I know that took a lot for you to tell us that. Victoria, another hug. Everything's gonna be okay. We love you. And Victoria, isn't that amazing how Jeff and Mara made all this happen? They're the catalyst that brought us all to, really. So Jeff was a big puzzle piece in our path. And oh, by the way, speaking of that, Jeff scheduled our next session is going to be next Thursday. So I imagine after we record that interview, he'll release it sometime either Friday night or over the weekend, next weekend. So you're going to see part 2, and you guys are going to hear about me being in a coma, which is a totally different experience I had in a coma than when I died on the operating table in another way. Yeah, see, Madeline. Oh, Lulu mentioned shadow beings, right. Oh, there's Lulu. Yes, okay, shadow beings are a common thing people see when they come out of their body. That's true. Personally, I've never experienced them, and I think it's because I was vibrating too high to see them. When you remember, when you have fear, you're gonna see fear. If you think there's hell, you're gonna see hell. That's how it works. If you don't have enough love in your heart and you have so much doubt, anxiety like Victoria has or whatever, you probably should get that in check before you even try to astral project, because you're going to have a little bit more negative experience. The potential for more negative experiences exists if you don't keep the love at a certain level in your heart. So the more love you have in your heart, there's that cliche saying, raise your vibration, right? That's exactly what it means. Pump more love into your heart. That's it. That instantly raises your vibration to a higher level, so you go to higher places. The lower you vibrate at, the lower places you go. That's when you see demons and stuff. That's because you're afraid. Once you get rid of fear, you'll never see any of that crap. No demons, no shadow people, nothing like that. Oh, also, I just remembered something. So we're definitely going to have a part 3 to this series. Speaking of those vibrations, speaking of those weird things you're going to see and interact with, you're going to interact telepathically. Once your first beings you interact with, it's going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, this is so cool. How are you talking to me in my head? When you set your intention, I think a good idea is to set the intention that you want to talk to somebody who's at your intelligence level or higher. I think that's very important. You don't want to communicate with somebody that's not on your level, right? You want to communicate with somebody that can relate to you, that at least has the same or more knowledge as you have, preferably more knowledge. And I want to talk to somebody that's going to teach me things I don't know. So if you don't really set that intention, you could go to the lower vibrational places, and that's how you go to different dimensions. That's how you travel by vibration, by colors, by sound. They're all connected too. And if you go on the darker colors like black and brown and those darker colors, that'll take you to darker places. And maybe you will experience places like hell. But as long as you keep love in your heart, that's a key. Keep more love you have in your heart, the higher frequency you'll vibrate at, and the better places, the better experiences you'll have. Both, Bonnie. A near-death experience is no different than astral projecting, with a couple exceptions. One is, of course, when you astral project, your body is still alive. Your heart's still beating, and when you die, their choice can be made whether you don't come back or you come. I chose to come back because I wanted to talk to you all and tell you about all this cool stuff. And I realized that not enough people know the mechanics or remember the mechanics of all this work. And I don't have all the answers, but I have some pretty cool puzzle pieces. But you guys all know. Okay, yeah. Let's talk about lucid dreams for a little bit, Roberto. Okay, so a lucid dream. A lucid dream is, okay, so in my book, there's two different kind of dreams, maybe three, but two main kind of dreams. One is a dream where your mind or your soul is trying to work out problems while your body sleeps, okay? Like, these are the kind of dreams that have obvious, what are called dream posts. Dream post is something that's recognizable in your dream where you can kind of catalog it, and there's lots of cool sites out there like Dream Moods and other websites that'll actually give you some insights on some of those dream posts, like for instance running school naked or going to the bathroom. Have you guys ever had a dream where you went to the bathroom and there was no stall? Here in America, that's kind of a must, but in other countries they don't have, like in Japan sometimes, or Egypt. Can you imagine squatting down on the ground and you have all these other people around you and they can see you while you're going to the bathroom? To us Americans, that's like freak. Some people it's normal, but there's dreams like that mean something. Those once you recognize that you're dreaming, and that's how you do it, you write your dreams down enough where your mind, when you go into a dream state, knows that you're trying to work out something that is a problem in your life. And when you recognize the dream post, it then becomes a lucid dream. And a lucid dream is kind of like astral projection, but you're still kind of in a dream state. But to me, when I died, I learned that the majority of lucid dreams that I remembered before I died, I actually saw that they were actually real life lives that I was living. You can be, and that goes real deep. Some places you're here on this planet, and there's so many dimensions or layers. That's why I call it the multiverse, because there's so many layers, and we're talking about an infinite amount of layers in everything. You don't just have another life, but that life has infinite amount of layers to it. So go get in your car and you open the door and go to work. Well, that happens over and over and over and over and over, nanosecond apart. Every nanosecond that goes by, new choices can be made that can alter that life. That alters other people's lives. It's, I don't know, it's some kind of supercomputer that keeps track of all this. I don't know I don't know where the mainframe is for all this going on, but man, it's a lot of data when you think about it to keep. But it's all in synchronous, and it all happens at the same time. So I'm telling you, our independence in America was 1776. 1776 is still going on right now. I know it's hard to believe that, but trust me on that one, because there's an infinite amount of these lives, these layers, and they just keep going and going and going. Like the Energizer Bunny, keep going and going. And I believe I don't have all the answers. Like I don't have the ultimate answer to that, why they keep all going. But I know enough to now say with pretty good. What's the word I'm looking for? I now know enough to know why, in my mind, why it's happening. Sort of giving everybody a chance to graduate. Okay. I call it graduation. That's when we all go to that next level, that place. I mean, you can call it heaven, but it's a place where it has a love that you think the love here is something, man. The love there, Whew. These brains couldn't handle that love. I don't even know what to call it. We don't have a word for it, that level of love. So we're all going to graduate from this illusion to another illusion. But the other illusion is much better. there is no crime and hatred and all these negative things we have here. It's a much better sandbox to play in. And this is like a big game. It really is. Maybe, and like I said, we're all pieces of that one big power I call the infinite. It's an overwhelming, all-intelligent, omnipresent force. And there's just the opposite. There is an overwhelming, I don't know the origins of these forces. In the Bible it says, I am the Alpha and the Omega, always been and always will be. And that's kind of hard for our brains to wrap around. In our brains, we have to have a beginning. How can there not be a beginning? There has to be a beginning, right? So yeah, those kind of things I don't have an answer for you on yet together. That's the cool thing about this. We all have pieces of the puzzle to answer these questions. I know it. The aliens have it, right? I've never seen a gray. I never saw a gray in any other life in anywhere else. I saw plenty of other beings, believe me. But we got to stop saying alien, because we are aliens. When you think about it, we're aliens. Our souls are not from this place. We're visitors here, so we're aliens just as much as what we call grays and all these other things. We are the same. We're aliens. So I think that's a misnomer. And UFOs. People misuse the term UFO. They think UFO means some kind of craft from outer space. But believe me, we have the technology here to make. Look, before I met all you all, I used to tell everybody I expect an alien invasion any day now. Seriously, the negative force that's here has the ability to make you believe that we're being invaded by aliens, right? They've always had that card in their back pocket. For some reason, they haven't played it yet, and I always wonder why. But we have the technology. Look, these aliens have been here longer than we have. Probably. They're already here. They're not going to invade us. They've already invaded. They're here. They are walking amongst us. Some of them. Some live underground. Some live off of this planet. And they come and go. They can make. In my experience, they're some of the most beautiful beings I've ever seen in my life. There's no devil with a pitchfork and things like that. That's all make believe. No, these people can shapeshift. They are beautiful, and they're made of light. They're made of light where they don't even need a light bulb, like in their spaces here. I've been in spaces here where time has stopped and it's all lit up like a Christmas tree and there's no light bulbs in sight. I could not find a source for the light. So I don't know how they do that. All right. Anybody else have any other questions about astral projection? So I think we've done enough for tonight. What do you guys think? Yes, Victoria, we're with you all night, all day. Can't get My pleasure, guys. Don't leave you. Never. Yes, everybody try to astral project tonight and let me know and let everyone know. Okay, that's my takeaway from this stream. I am going to prepare a place. Oh, what did we all decide on when I was blabbing away about where we all want to post our experiences and keep I want us all to have one place where we can go and just be amazed at people's progress. We all need to be on the same page, so we all need to have a place where we can compare notes and see what other people are struggling with and give them help where they need it and vice versa, Those of you who are still here, did you get a notification today on your bell icon that this stream was going to happen at 7? I forgot to ask for that feedback. Eve, I would like to go live every night. I really would. The ancient language portion, I have to start getting on that, but I really wanted us to meet each other and get to know each other a little bit, and before I started the ancient language portion. And plus, I've been like, it's been like one big giant family reunion from Sunday night until now, and that's the real reason why I haven't started on the language part yet. But so my goal is, I think I'm gonna release a video of that during the daytime, my time, and then we'll have this chat every night if you want. But it's not going to be about astral projection every night, but I would like to have this chat as much as possible, put it that way. All right, Victoria, we love you. You sleep with the angels, okay? And we'll be astral projecting together soon. You'll see. And that'll just change your life. You won't, all this fear and anxiety will just evaporate when we start doing this. Okay, maybe I'll do a poll in our community page tonight too, AJ, to see, I'll say, okay, which platform does everybody prefer? You know, and that'll give me kind of a better idea. You know, whatever we pick, there's probably going to be a few that don't like it, and we'll see. I know we're not going to make everybody happy, but I want to make as many people happy as possible. Could do multiple platforms, but the only issue I might have with that is I don't want this to be like I don't want us to scatter too many. You know, when you have too many places like that, you have some information over here, and these people don't know about the information over here. I want to have just one place where everything resides, so it's not so overwhelming. And right now, I am poor. I can't afford to have people that help me with organizing all that stuff and keeping up with that. I have to do I have to do what's within my control, and right now one place in my control, but multiple places I don't think keep up with that. Yes, Victoria. Good night, Victoria. Yeah, something easy, Lou. I agree. Something like astral projection experience for dummies. Oh, that'd be awesome, AJ. I will never turn that kind of help down for sure. Yeah, if somebody wants, AJ, if you or somebody else wants to volunteer, take that on as something to do, an action item, I would. Oh, just let me know what you all come up with. In the meantime, I'll take a poll and we'll go from there, I guess. Because our family's gonna grow. I'm hoping it's gonna grow fast, and we need to have a place soon. Start putting all this information together. Yeah. Yeah, exactly, Lou. I hear you. There's going to be a lot of you that aren't computer savvy, so I want to make Discord's kind of computer savvy-ish, I would say. It's not the easiest interface to navigate if you're not familiar with. Was this time good for all of you tonight? It would have been like, what, 10 o'clock East Coast. Would you like a little earlier, a little later? And let's see, you add 6 hours to that. That would have been like 4 in the morning in London, so it'd be morning hours for all of Europe, Middle East, and it'd be like for Australia and like Japan, it would be like almost midnight, I think, on the next day. So I could do it a little bit earlier. I don't think I would want to do it later because I think all the people in the Pacific Rim would be too tired to watch it, maybe. Victory, Victoria. Victory for Victoria. I like it. Okay, Mick, you vote for 2 hours earlier, so that would be 5 my time, 5 Pacific time. We can definitely do that. That's definitely doable for me. What time would be too earlier for you East Coasters? You know, a lot of you have families and you eat dinner. I don't want to cut into your dinner time and your favorite show time or whatever on TV or whatever. This will be, and I will create the table for all the live streams going forward. I will, by habit, I will create a table of contents for each one, so it's easier to navigate for the people who don't have a lot of time to spare in their life, you know, because of other obligations or whatever. So I'll always create a table of contents so you can easily go to everything. Hey Jay, New York City. All right, the Big Apple checking in. Thank you so much for joining us, man. 6 p.m. Pacific time. That works for me. I like that a little bit better than 5 at my time, I think. I think 6 is good. Did you all see my table of contents? Did you like that format? Because when you do it, I did it the way YouTube likes it. So YouTube automatically separates the video into those segments where those timestamps are. I don't know if you guys can see that on your phone or your PCs. You can also, if you're on a PC or a laptop, you can take your cursor and put it on the play line, and you can drag it up, and you can actually see where the hash marks are better. Okay, Victoria, good. Good evening from Las Vegas, Doris. I'm glad you can join us, even though we're just wrapping up everything right now. This stream will be available when I hang up, Doris, so you can. It'll take me a little while to put up the table of contents, but you can start it as soon as I hang up. You can do. I don't know if you guys know this or not. When you're watching a live stream and you want to go back to the beginning, you don't have to wait for me to end the stream. You can actually drag that little ball back to the beginning. If you don't want to hear me live and interact live. Hi, Cammy. All right, guys, I love you all. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I'm so happy we're all getting connected all over the world. This is amazing. I'm so ecstatic. And thank you for joining me on this exciting journey. It's going to be amazing. And also for those looking forward to the language part, it's coming soon, okay? Just, you won't be disappointed, I promise. We're going to have a lot of fun with that too. Good night, Candy. Good night, everybody. Love you all. Sweet dreams.